This is going to be a pretty quick one as I'm looking at another Up2Stream AMP product from Arylic. This is a 2-channel or a 1-channel mono or stereo amplifier board. Supports all your favorite streaming services, controllable from your smartphone, and their products are first rate. Let's take a look at this one. This is a new one, the AMP 2.0.
This is a quick look at the new Up2Stream AMP 2.0. Operates between 12 and 24 volts. And what this is this is a internet radio receiver, media receiver. Has built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and of course can be connected directly through a LAN as well. This little project board is for do-it-yourselfers who want to build their own smart speakers. Even has an infrared input for using with a remote control if you are putting it into an enclosure. So this is designed to either mount into an enclosure or mount into a speaker. Many will choose to mount this into a little plastic box or a metal box. I'm just going to demonstrate the basic functions of the board itself, and we'll go over what it does and how to operate it. Incidentally, the music that you hear streaming in the back of all my current videos and the background music, that is actually one of these boards that I built into a pair of speakers a couple of years ago, and they just sit over in the corner just running low in the background as background music. But it is one of these Up2Stream boards. I can control it from my phone, and I just leave it playing using TuneIn Radio because it supports all the main apps: TuneIn, Deezer, Spotify, Napster. Should tell me here what all the services that you can use. I only use the free service from TuneIn. So here's the introduction. It's the Up2Stream AMP version 4 is a Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 5 stereo mono amplifier board that can be applied to using your existing regular audio system to make it wireless enabled. It's an all-in-one solution for do-it-yourselfers to make their customized wireless system, and it can switch between stereo and mono mode. Can provide up to maximum 50 watts. Left and right channels in mono mode will mix left and right and provide a single output maximum of 100 watts. It does this by paralleling the outputs together. And it supports, of course, a network audio server. You can play your music from your computer through here. And it supports a USB drive, online streaming services, Spotify, Deezer, Tidal, QBuzz, and more. And you can set up wireless multimedia audio systems and play the same music in room in sync, or play different music. That's one of the neat features, is that if you've got multiple speakers in multiple rooms, you can play them in sync and there's no echo between the different devices. They sync up with each other and it works quite well. I have a number of these set up around my house. I have one in my kitchen that's I think probably a similar board to this. It can operate in mono or stereo because it's a single speaker. I have the Played amp, which is what's playing in the speakers behind me, which was mounted inside one of the speakers, and then the secondary output goes to the second speaker. And I've got a couple preamps inside as well that just feed into my existing amplifier. If you want to build a key interface, there's a key input on the front. So here are the accessories that you can get for it. You can get an acrylic case, external SPDIF board, external button board, or you can make your own, an external knob which has got your encoder for adjusting the volume. The Played amp I'm running actually has this part built in. I'm going to set it up just quickly. We're going to just control it with the phone. And of course it's got, see, it tells you here where your button board goes. Button board goes here. Passive speakers, stereo mono selector, and you've got your output here. So to switch between stereo and mono operation, you just move these jumpers down to the mono position for all four of them, and then that will double the output power for the built-in amplifier, which feeds the speaker terminal over here and provide a true mono output. Otherwise, in stereo, you're going to connect it to two speakers. The DAC output down here has your left and right audio output, ground, also a mono output as well. But we're going to connect this up to my speakers using the built-in amp and just do a quick demo on this. I've demoed a couple of their other systems before, so if you want a more in-depth demo on how they operate, you can look up all those other videos. But we'll load this up, I'll fire it up, I'll pair it with my phone, I'll run through some of the basic features. How you connect the speakers will depend on whether you're setting it up in mono or stereo mode. You'll notice that in mono mode you would jumper these two together, and that becomes your speaker positive, and these two are jumpered together and it becomes your speaker negative. In stereo mode, left channel negative, left channel positive, right channel negative, right channel positive. I got the speakers connected to the speaker plug. We'll plug the speakers in and I'll plug in the system, and light will start flashing to indicate that it's booting up. I'm going to go to my phone and I'm going to launch the Up2Stream app. This is the app that I control all my existing systems with. Right now there's 4 devices that are playing. The one marked played amp is actually the speaker behind me here. And I will turn this one on. Once this one's booted up, I will add another device. So I'm going to click on Add Device. It says go to your phone's Wi-Fi settings and look for sound system XXXX. So I'm going to
entering setup mode. Follow the
into my
instructions
Wi-Fi.
in the app to finish the setup.
I'm going to go to my, and I'm going to select sound system.
You are now connected to your speaker. Follow the instructions in the app to finish the setup.
So now I'm going to return back to the settings here. Yeah, I'm going to keep my Wi-Fi connected, of course, on the sound system. And it tells me I'm going to have to select my network. So I'm going to pick my network that it's going to be connected to. And it only supports the 2.4 gigahertz network. So I'm going to pick one that's 2.4 only. And connect to it.
Waiting for Wi-Fi connection. Connected to your Wi-Fi network.
So now it's telling me my signal strength is 100%. I click next. It's pretty simple, and then I can either use the name of the unit itself, which in this case is Sound System AD6A. That's just the name of it, or I can give it a name. I can give it a custom name if I want, or I can call it anything that I wish to call it. In this case, I'll call this one Mono Stereo Board, just so that I know what it is. Even though I have another mono stereo board, it's built into a speaker, so we'll just call this one the mono stereo. So I just give it a name, that way I know which one it is. And now that the unit has been named, I can go back out of here and we'll see that here's the new one here. See, I've got my media closet, my plate amp, and one called Woody, which is another board similar to this, built into that little wood speaker, that little solid little wood speaker that I put together a while back. It has one of these inside it. If it's not the same board, it's the older version of this, so I think the board was a little bit bigger, but it's a similar board to this one, but it's been in there running flawlessly for forever. So if I click on this one and then I want to play some music, I'm just going to go to TuneIn Radio because that's the simplest one. I don't have any other services. I could do it through Bluetooth through my phone, or I could do it through a USB input. I'm just going to show this off quickly. I'll use TuneIn Radio. I can pick local radio for that matter, and pick anything, any local radio station. So for example, if I went to, I'm just looking for something that I can get away with without pulling copyright. We'll go to the traffic station.
Pound 730. We're going to take that break, and when we come back,
to adjust the volume
with the Global Sky Tracker weather, we'll update you with the bridges and tunnels and major routes, and we'll see what's going on with those fairs and borders as well, all in the noon hour. Have yourself a great day, guys. I'll speak to you tomorrow.
It's the rewards event at Rona and Lowe's.
So these are great little boards. If you've got a pair of speakers just kicking around doing nothing, right? Even without mounting this in a cabinet. If you've got a pair of little bookshelf speakers or something that you're not using, you can get a basic 12 to 24 volt power supply, hook them up to the speakers, slap this on the back of the speakers with some Velcro or double-sided tape, and forget about it. Right, that's it. You know, you've got a pair of bookshelf speakers. You slap this on the back of one of the speakers. You run a wire into one speaker and run the other wire over to the other speaker. Little basic power adapter like one of these, right? Just a little basic little power brick, and that's it. You've just made yourself a pair of cheap, good sounding wireless speakers that you can stream your media from your computer, from your phone, from your mass storage device. You can plug a USB stick in. You can either do it over wireless, or if you've got a LAN connection there, you can plug it directly in, and then you get access to all this great internet radio content. And much of it is free, such as stuff that's on TuneIn Radio. I'm going to keep this pretty basic because this board, basically I've covered a lot of the features of this board in previous videos. This is just a new model. So the thing I really like about TuneIn Radio is, of course, you can tune in pretty much anything anywhere in the world. So if I go to TuneIn Radio, again, I can pick local radio, and this will give me all the local stations. Right now I've got 91.7 Northwest, it's a Pacific Northwest station out of Seattle that is an NPR station. KUOW.
Support comes from Seattle University's Graduate Computer Science and Data Science programs, offering programs for students from most academic backgrounds and skills.
Pick. Or you can search by location, by language, look for podcasts, music. If I go to music, say, for example, and I like jazz, so if I go to jazz, I can pick all these different jazz stations that I could pick up. Or I can go to my save station. So if I go down to TuneIn and I go to my stations, well, I've only got a couple that I actually listen to. This is one that I listen to all the time. And there's that one. So it's pretty simple on how the stations operate on here. That's why I've been sticking with TuneIn, because it's free. It's ad free. Most of the stations, like this one, is ad free. Anyway, I just want to give you guys a quick rundown on this little board from Arylic. I'll put a link into the description. I've got a number of their products running throughout the house. Some like this, bare boards like this, that I've been mounting inside speakers, inside cabinets. This one could very well find its way into it. And I got a nice pair of speakers, nice pair of Paradigm speakers, that this one could very easily find its way inside the speaker. Because once it's connected, there's not really much need to access the board itself. Of course, the simplest way, if you don't want to mount it in a case, just get some Velcro, stick it on the back, and stick it to the back of the speaker cabinet. That way you're not cutting holes or anything in it. Another way, of course, of doing that is to put the unit inside the speaker cabinet, connect one speaker directly to the amplifier itself, and connect the terminals on the back of the speaker to the other amplifier output, so that the speaker terminals on the back becomes an output. And maybe we'll do that in a future video. I will mount this inside a pair of speakers and do just that. Rewire the terminals on the back so that you plug the power into the amplifier and then run one wire from the speaker terminals on one speaker to the other. Anyway, that's for another day. This was just a quick look at this little board, show you guys how it works and show you guys the specs. Great products. I've been using them here for years. Never had any issues with them. Link in the description. Thanks for watching.